It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl. Today, 2 outstanding elementary schools here to play our game. Let's meet them now. First from Accokeek Academy, would you please say hello to Grant Wilmore, Carlia Williams-Locks, and Allison Eddings. And from Greenbelt Elementary, say hello to Jonathan Bertiz, Shahara Rahman, and Neelam Patel. And now here are the categories of questions we use on Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to the difficulty of the questions, with the easier ones on the left worth 5 and 10 points, and the tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately the toughest question of all worth 25 points. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece, no penalties ever for incorrect answers. Into the 2 rounds, one of these 2 good-looking teams will come back to play our game again and perhaps advance to this year's semifinals. Let's go over and make sure everything's working properly. Carlia, would you try your buzzer for me? All right, looks like it works just fine. Good luck to you, Allison and Grant. Properly attired there in your lab coat. You look good. And wearing matching green over there at Greenbelt. Would you try your buzzer, Shahara? Try yours, please. Thank you. And good luck to you, to Neelam, and to Jonathan. All right, are we ready to play?
Yes.
Let's do this thing. We go alphabetically A before G. So, Carlia, let's play the bowl. Give me a category and a number, please.
Zoo Parade for 20.
Zoo Parade for 20 points. Teams, grizzly bears are big. But the largest animal in North America is this bovine that can weigh over 2,500 pounds. All right, Carlia at Accokeek.
African elephant.
No, North America. North America we were talking about. Greenbelt, here in North America, yeah, grizzly bears are big, but the largest animal in North America is one of these bovines that can weigh over 2,500 pounds. Yes, ma'am.
A gorilla?
No, again, North America, North America. The word bovine refers to a cow-like animal. Correct answer was buffalo or bison. Try again, red.
We'll go for body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, Charlene Harris's books called Southern Vampire Mysteries are the basis for the hit HBO television show called True What? All right, Greenbelt.
True Blood.
True Blood, yes. All right, good. Thank you, Jonathan, for your assist there. Go green.
Zoo Parade for 5. Zoo Parade for 5.
Zoo Parade for 5 points. Teams, the most familiar of laboratory animals is one of these running through a maze. Accokeek. Mice. Judges? Not quite. Greenbelt? The most familiar of laboratory animals running through a maze is one of these.
Rats?
A rat, absolutely. A lab rat. Good, okay, good comeback. Sorry, not quite what we wanted. Go green.
Green things for 5. Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, what same word means a young growing stem and the verb that means to pull the trigger on a gun? Okay? Shoot. Shoot. A shoot and a shoot. Good. Green.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, if something cold hits the back of your palate, you can get an ice cream headache or this body part could freeze. Greenbelt.
Brain.
Your brain freeze. That's what I want to hear. Okay. Try again, Green.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, the television superhero known as Captain Magma knows an awful lot about what geological events? Accokeek.
Volcano eruptions. Volcanoes.
Volcanoes is what I want to hear. Absolutely good. All right. Red. Carlia.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Would you turn the light out, please, Maria? Thank you. This is for, again, 15 points on body systems. Teams, your question is as follows. Former slugger Mickey Mantle, who played for the New York Yankees for years, he tore his meniscus and his anterior cruciate ligament in the 1951 World Series, meaning that for the rest of that game, and indeed for the rest of his career, he literally played on only one of these joints. Body systems. What only one joint did he play on? What do you have to do if you're a ball player? You got to run around. You need legs. Anterior cruciate ligament. The correct answer was knee. Knee. He played on one knee. Turn the light out. Red, pick again.
Oh, let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams, the mass in the universe that includes gases and stars and planets is invoked in the opening line of the Star Wars movie that goes, a long time ago, in a blank far, far away. Greenbelt.
Galaxy.
Galaxy. That's what I want to hear. Good. Go. Green.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, recently in England, a woman released 3,000 of these little animals that she had raised in an arachnid nursery in her kitchen. Greenbelt.
Spiders.
You got that right. As an arachnophobia. She was an arachnophiliac. She loved these spiders because they were an endangered species. She raised them one at a time and fed them fruit flies. I didn't know what a nice mom they had. Go Green.
Zooprey for 10.
Zooprey for 10 points. Teams, all mammals from mice to giraffe have just 7 vertebrae in their necks, just like we do. But one mammal has 10 vertebrae. It is also the slowest of the mammals. The slowest of the mammals, Greenbelt.
A sloth.
A sloth, absolutely right. 10 neck vertebrae, cervical vertebrae. The buzzer's rung. First round is over. Went by fast. Greenbelt 95, Accokeek 60. We'll be back with round 2 in a moment. Don't go away. Welcome back. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. Here we are in our 25th year of Science Bowl, and each of the students seem to keep getting better and better, and we have 6 outstanding examples of that right here today. 6 great players, a couple of whom have been here before. Let's go first to Accokeek Academy, which is a combination of 2 schools, and I'll let Carlia tell you about that. And I told the audience earlier, you're all wearing lab coats. Now, you don't wear these every day, do you?
No.
You just wore them for us today, and we're so glad you did. You look very professional over there. And these are loaners, aren't they? They go back when the show is over. Tell us about Accokeek Academy, Carlia.
Well, Accokeek Academy is a combination of 2 schools, like you said, Henry G. Ferguson and Eugene Burroughs. And Henry G. Ferguson was the elementary school, and Eugene Burroughs was the middle school.
Middle school. And what grade are you in?
6.
You're in the 6th grade, so you're part of the elementary part of the...
No, we're part of the middle school.
You're part of the middle school, because it goes, what, 6, 7, 8, does it? Wonderful. Do you have the same principal for the entire academy?
No.
2 separate principals?
Well, wait, no, we have one.
Who is that?
Miss Todd.
Wonderful. And who's the sponsor of your team?
Miss Forbes.
Miss Forbes, and she's out there, she's biting her fingernails, and she's wishing you the best. I know how hard she worked to get you ready for today. And did you have an alternate or 2 on your team?
We have 3 alternates.
All right, we'll bring them out along with Miss Forbes, and so everyone can meet them in just a few moments. Carlia, tell us about yourself. Now, you were here last year, so you're very comfortable. You got a great smile. You play a great game. How do you know so much about science?
Well, I study science, and I like science. It's one of my favorite subjects.
And it shows. It certainly shows. What do you want to do when you get older?
When I get older, one of the things I want to be is a veterinarian or an artist.
Wow, very creative person. Do you have any pets at home?
No.
No pets, all right. Allison, you're a soccer player. Do you play for an organized team?
Well, I do Upward at my church, and that's all.
That's very nice. That's very nice. What else do you do in your spare time?
I like to watch TV and play video games.
Wonderful. And someday you hope to?
I want to be a nature photographer.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. You can go to some exotic places and visit game parks and photograph wild animals, and it's just a wonderful idea. Lots of adventure. Grant, tell us about yourself. What do you want to do someday?
I want to be a car tester for a car magazine.
Yeah, you hear this guy, you know, he's got courage to spare over there. You know, you're going to be out there with the helmets on and high speed. That appeals to a lot of guys. How'd you get interested in that?
Because since I like cars and exotic cars, and I want to drive a lot, so I wanted to be a car tester.
You can't wait until you turn 16, right? You can get behind the wheel. Nice to have you with us, Grant. Nice to have you back, because you were here last year too, weren't you? Yeah, fine young man. Greenbelt, nice to have you here, wearing your matching Greenbelt shirts, the Greenbelt Greyhounds over there. And Shahara, we were talking earlier, and there's a cast of thousands, not quite, who wanted to be on this show, but you three prevailed. How did you get the top spot?
Well, before school starts, we do this thing every Monday, and we just test our knowledge and see who knows a lot of questions and answers and who knows a lot about all the categories.
That's wonderful. Well, you're proving that you were a good choice, and you're fast on the buzzer, too. Another important attribute. Tell us about Greenbelt. Who's your principal?
Miss Seidel.
Absolutely. And she's been here before, and I know she's a great supporter of Science Bowl, and Miss Vanessa Zanin, who has been working very hard to get all of you guys ready. We're going to bring her out, along with all of the alternates and the young people who were interested in playing our game today. We appreciate all their work. And what do you hope to do someday, Shahara?
When I grow up, I want to be a pediatrician.
Pediatrician. Do you have younger brothers and sisters at home?
I have an older brother and a younger sister.
All right, you're right in the middle then. Neelam, nice to have you with us today. Tell us the Neelam story. What do you do in your spare time?
I collect beads and rocks, and sometimes I make necklaces out of the beads.
Wonderful. So do you give them away, or do you keep them for yourself?
I keep them and give them away.
Yeah, I bet they make very nice gifts. Something that someone makes is always so appreciated. And what do you want to do when you get older? Are you going to translate that creativity into something artistic?
I'm going to be a doctor.
A doctor. Wonderful. I know you'll be successful at that. You have a very good discipline about you. Jonathan, nice to have you here. You've really been helping out in this first round. That's why Greenbelt is ahead. You're a large part of that. How do you know so much about science?
I just study, and then sometimes I just watch TV, and I gain facts from just watching shows.
Absolutely right. There's a lot of substance on TV. If you don't just spend all your time watching sitcoms and cartoons, you know, there's a lot out there. That and on the web. When you grow up?
I want to be either an animator, artist, or computer software developer.
Wonderful. All right. Nice to have you on our program, Jonathan. Let's get back to our game. 95-60. Greenbelt is in the lead. We have lots of points to give away. Last correct answer came from the green team, so Shahara, start us out.
Science potpourri for 5.
Science potpourri for 5 points. Recently, because they changed the light bulbs, they turned the White House pink in order to draw attention to what kind of cancer? Greenbelt.
Breast cancer?
Breast cancer, absolutely right. Think pink. That seems to be just everywhere anymore. All started by Susan G. Komen's sister. What a wonderful effort. Go, green.
Let's get physical for 15.
Let's get physical for 15 points. Teams, meteor showers have already started to fall from this heavenly body that won't be here in 50 years that goes by the name of Halley's what? Greenbelt?
Comet.
Halley's Comet, yes, periodically and regularly visits, but meteoric showers have already started even though it's 50 years away. Go.
Green things for 10.
Green things, 10 points. Teams, one way to treat malaria, a very good way to treat malaria, is to use this outermost covering of the cinchona tree. Accokeek.
Sap.
Not the sap, good try. What is this outermost part of the cinchona tree that makes for a very effective malaria medicine?
Bark.
The bark, yes, the outer bark of the tree. Green.
Zooparade for 15.
Zooparade for 15 points. Teams, look at the monitor in the studio, please, if you would, for this question. Teams, you're going to see a beautiful lionfish. The lionfish is not found normally in the United States waters, but now it is overpopulating off Florida in the Caribbean. It was accidentally or it may be purposely introduced. What do you call a kind of animal that is someplace where it should not be? You could call it an alien. You can call it exotic. You could call it non-native. You can call it non-indigenous. Any of those terms would have been sufficient. Go again, Green.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. Teams. Nadia Suleiman is being called in the press Octomom because she had how many babies at the same time? Accokeek?
8.
8 is right. Good. Go.
We'll go for green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams. What reproductive plant units could be called future ferns? Yes, Accokeek.
Stamen?
It's not stamen. Good. Good try. Greenbelt, what reproductive parts could be called future ferns?
Spores?
Spores, absolutely right. Yes, that form of asexual reproduction as opposed to seed-making plants. Thank you, Neelam, for your assist there. Go Green.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, if you're on the caveman diet and you're trying to lose weight, you're probably going to eat a lot of protein, but very little of what other kind of food? Accokeek.
Vegetables?
Not quite. A kind of food. Not, you're eating a lot of protein on the caveman diet, but very little what?
Starch.
And what kind of food is a starch?
I know there's starch in corn.
Yes, please?
Corn.
Judges? Not quite. Starches are carbohydrates. Carbohydrates. Cookies, cakes, pies, all those things. You were close, but the judges said not quite enough. Go again, Green. 140 to 65. Come on, Carlia and Grant and Allison. Let's get back in this game here. Go, Shahara.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Look at the monitor, please, in the studio for this question. Teams, the elm tree that used to dominate Washington streets has been dying out for years. The elm trees in Washington have been replaced by the Norway version of this kind of tree that kind of leaf grows on. What kind of leaf is that? All right, come on, Shahar, let's get it.
Is there a maple tree?
You got that right. It's a Norway maple, the characteristic, and there's so many different varieties right here in the Washington area. Nice comeback. Go Green.
Body system for 20.
Body systems, 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. People who are being treated with radioactive iodine oftentimes have cancer of this gland in the neck, which sometimes sets off detectors at airports and contaminates hospital rooms. Name that gland in the neck treated with radioactive iodine. All right, come on, Carlia, you need this one.
Lungs?
Ooh, not lungs, no, good try. Greenbelt, name the gland in the neck treated with radioactive iodine. What's your consensus answer over there? Correct answer is the thyroid gland. The thyroid gland. Try again, Green. The questions are getting tougher.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25. The big one in that category, teams, you might have heard this on the news. A woman recently had her newborn baby taken away from her because her blood test revealed she was on drugs, morphine and codeine. Turned out she wasn't a drug addict at all. She had just eaten too many bagels covered with the seeds of what kind of plant? Greenbelt.
Poppy?
You got that right. Poppy seed bagels. That tipped it, and the titer of those drugs rose in her blood. Nicely done. Go, Green.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, everybody knows this one. Paleontologists have seen gashes on bones of this most famous, fearsome, predatory dinosaur, indicating that it might be a cannibal. Greenbelt.
A T-Rex.
T-Rex, yeah. Apparently, it could have eaten its own. Go, Green.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Question is as follows. Physicist Isaac Newton, laws of gravity. He also dabbled in alchemy, which is the pseudoscience that thought you could change lead into what? 2 precious metals. Yes, the 2 precious metals that alchemists thought they could change lead into.
Gold and silver?
Gold and silver, absolutely right. They tried and tried. It never worked, though. Good answer. Come on, Accokeek. Yes, ma'am.
A logo? Dateline for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Question is as follows. Although it was blameless, the city of San Francisco in 1906 suffered an earthquake because it was sitting atop the San Andreas what? Greenbelt.
Fault line.
Fault line, absolutely right. Good. Thank you, Jonathan. Green.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points, teams. There's a new theory that airline food tastes so bad because of the high decibel levels within the airplane's cabin, meaning the sense of taste is linked to the sense of what? Accokeek.
Smell.
No, you weren't listening there completely. Greenbelt. The high decibel levels in the airplane cabin apparently help to make the food taste bad, meaning that the sense of taste is linked to the sense of what?
I don't know. Air. I don't know. Sense of what? Smell.
Yes?
No, see, this is more. I think it's air or something. Sight.
Yes, ma'am.
Sight.
Hearing. Hearing. Decibels. Decibels is the sound of the engines. That's how you measure sound. Try again, Green.
Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo parade for 25 points, teams. The donkeys and the elephants represent the Democrats and the Republican parties. But when Teddy Roosevelt ran on the Progressive Party ticket, the symbol for his party was this largest deer in North America. Come on, Greenbelt, get yourself 25 more.
A moose.
You got that right. The Bull Moose Party it was. Green.
Dateline science for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Your question is as follows. Multiple choice question. Many of the schools in this county are named for people. There are 3 schools named for outstanding gentlemen, one of whom helped to invent the atomic bomb and was a famous chemist. Which of these gentlemen for whom a school is named for is that famous scientist? Samuel P. Massey, Thurgood Marshall, or Charles Herbert Flowers? Which of those 3? Massey, Marshall, or Flowers? Greenbelt.
Massey.
You got that right. Samuel P. Massey. Thurgood Marshall was a former Supreme Court Justice, and Charles Herbert Flowers is a famed Tuskegee Airman. Green.
Let's get physical for 25.
Let's get physical for 25 points, teams. On the television commercial for the arthritis medicine Celebrex, they show a person sitting on a porch and it says, a body at rest tends to stay at rest, while a body in motion tends to keep moving unless a force is applied to it. That is the very definition of what I initialed physical constant. You may answer. If someone knows, the I initialed physical constant. A body at rest stays at rest, a body in motion stays in motion. Come on, Carlia, go out with a blaze of glory.
Isaac.
Isaac, not Isaac, no. What's the name of that physical constant, Greenbelt? It is inertia. Inertia was the correct answer. Looks like Greenbelt has done it. We'll be back with a wrap-up in just a moment. Don't go away. And welcome back. What a great game we had here today. 6 outstanding competitors. We are proud of each and every one of them. They're all champions in my eyes. And where do you see the shadow teams behind both of these teams? Our final tally today is Accokeek 85, Greenbelt 255. Congratulations. It's a sea of green over there. Jonathan and Shahara and Neelam, you did a great job. Miss Kim Seidel, their principal is here. Miss Vanessa Zanine. And look at all of the alternates back there. Wave as I call your name. Michael, Gerald. We've got Mira, Jeremy, Andy, Mamuna, Ahmed, and Jalen. Did I get everybody? And over here at Accokeek, congratulations, Grant and Carlia and Allison. You guys had a great spirit. You never gave up. I loved having you here. We've got Aubrey and Vincent and Daniel and Miss Vitalia Forbes. Thank you for being part of our game again, and we hope to see you back again next year, Accokeek. Greenbelt, we'll see you in the next round. We'll see you next time on Science Bowl. Bye-bye now.